Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. We're here for our review of the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to start here with Formula 3. F2 and F1 will be following this though. We have watched all of the action this weekend. It's been a very good return. Obviously the summer break did leave us without Formula 1 for 3 weeks, but the action was back this weekend at Spa. And of course Spa, a track which last year didn't give us much of a race. But yeah, very good Formula 3 weekend. Should we start with qualifying then, Harry?
Definitely.
You've got up the qualifying, right?
I do. Obviously, F3 is quite a long lap. 2 minutes and 11 seconds was the pole position lap time that was set by Kaio Collet.
It was a mixed conditions
It was, to be fair,
session, I believe.
But Kaio Collet taking his first ever Formula 3
those laps would have been set in the dries.
Yeah. Zane Maloney took second. Then it was Pitsy in third. Ollie Bearman, who obviously is only his second ever race in Formula 3. He started P4. Roman Stanek took P5. Johnny Edgar obviously only has returned to Formula 3 recently. Great to see him back in P6. Smile took P7. Ollie Bearman took P8.
Go.
Note that he would have started P5
in the
for the sprint race.
Interesting that.
Interesting. 9th was Colapinto. 10th was Brad Benavides.
So he would be starting third.
Yeah, third, yeah.
For the sprint race.
Make sure that. And then Juan Manuel Correa started 11th, and then Zach O'Sullivan started 12th.
So interestingly, obviously, championship contenders, Leclerc, Hadjar, Martins, all outside of the top 15, I believe.
Definitely.
Well, that was all down to the conditions. Yeah. We also saw Jack Crawford crash early in the session, meaning he started from 30 on both days. Who else was around? I'm trying to think that was a championship contender. So that's pretty much it, isn't it?
That grid, so sprint race, the grid was obviously reversed, top 12.
Yeah.
And it was a chaotic start.
It was a brilliant start.
We saw big incidents for Maloney and Goethe.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of spinning. We saw Brad Benavides cut about 10 corners.
I loved the Benavides line throughout this weekend. He just, every time we got to, off the Camel Straight through, I can't quite remember the name of the corner, but it's the chicane. He'd just not turn.
Any opportunity at turn 4 to cut it, he would take it.
It was so good to see.
Coming out on top in that chaotic sprint race was Ollie Bearman.
Oh, absolute scenes. I was loving it. We were walking around London that morning and I was just had it on my phone, but absolutely buzzing.
Roman Stanek took P2, Alexander Smoyart at P3, Edgar P4, Arthur Leclerc managed to recover to P5. He did. Most of it was just the chaotic race that he managed to get through, but he did make a couple of overtakes, which is quite big for Arthur Leclerc.
Yeah.
Leclerc
got 6 points from it.
Yeah.
Hadjar also scored 2 as well. So.
Yeah, but William Alatolle, P6. Brad Benavides in P8.
I never thought the two of them, let alone would they score points, but at the same time, insane. Loved it.
Would also just like to say, this is not me being biased, but Jack Crawford managed to get to P11 from the back of the grid.
It was a good drive.
Very good drive from him.
It was a good drive. I'd argue not as good as Ollie Bearman though. 10 points for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really good race. And another performance of note, of course, Stanek climbs up in the championship. We'll get into the feature before looking at the overall championship. Should we talk about that feature?
Feature race, it was from 0 to hero.
I was going to say, we'll start with lap 1. I'm trying to think what happened now in the feature.
Maloney went off the start. Collet went nowhere.
Yeah.
That was about it.
That was about it.
Off the start. Compared to what we saw at the sprint race, there wasn't too much action to talk about. But as I said, Maloney, 0 to hero, had a horrific crash in the sprint race.
Yeah.
The team stayed up all night fixing his car for the feature race, and it was bloody worth it.
Though, one of the overtakes he made, I did see, was off track. And it's interesting because all 4 wheels were off the track. I believe it was on Ollie Goethe for P2. All 4 wheels off track. Tried to go around the outside of him into turn 6. The outside of turn 6. So yeah, interesting that wasn't picked up on by the FIA, but other moments have been this season.
Just rounding out the podium. So Maloney took the feature race win. Then it was.
But yeah, he deserves it. He's clearly got pace. It's just a little bit chaotic, demonstrated by the crash through Blanchimont, isn't it?
Yeah.
The long straight at the end of the lap.
They're all different names. And then Roman Stanek took his second podium in the weekend in P2, and so did Oliver Bearman in P3. We saw a lot of that in the Formula 3 and Formula 2. Double podium drivers.
I think it's because we had such mixed grids.
Yeah.
That in the top 10 was the same few very, very talented drivers with
Yeah.
it.
Ollie Bearman P4, great result for him in the sprint. Johnny Edgar had a great weekend, he took P5. Colette fell from pole but still took P6. More points for William Alatolo in P7.
Yeah.
He was just trying to do a hold-up job. David Arles took P8. He again, another of the double point scorers, scored in the sprint as well. Smolyar again took P9. And Rish Ushijima in 10th took another point.
Yeah.
Which means Ansel Leclerc scored
I've been
nothing.
very-
Hadjar scored nothing.
very impressed
Crawford
with
and
him.
Martin scored nothing.
Very impressed with Shijima recently.
Yeah, very impressed.
He's come on a lot. Because at the start of the season, he was all over the shop. But in recent rounds, he looks a lot better. A lot better. Yeah, it's brilliant to see. It's a fantastic return to Spa and a return for Formula 3.
And obviously, it's really good to see that we are going
Yes,
back
I
there
was
next
about
year.
to mention that. We're back for 2023. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think Formula 3 made Spa, as much as people go, oh, it's dangerous, I think Spa has made changes now.
Exactly. Spa's made change to make it more safe, and as long as it
And the cars are a lot more safe.
Last year was just a bad timing that it was chucking it down and we couldn't get any racing whatsoever.
Well, yeah, the fact that Maloney and Goethe can both walk away from that incident is absolutely insane to me. But we see it time and time again now. Hausch and Asani early this season at Silverstone. Yeah, so many crashes like that, and yeah, brilliant to see obviously Maloney and Goethe survive that one. I think Goethe is a very, very talented driver.
Very much.
I only
so.
joined the series very late this year, and yeah, already put himself
And
up in.
it was like, this is the time.
19th in the championship.
Obviously not for Ollie Bearman, but for other drivers like Maloney, Stanek, and Bearman, who need to be scoring points while Martins and Hadjar are out of the top 10. They got those points this weekend.
And it's changed the championship.
Exactly. We've got 2 rounds to go, 4 races, plus 2 qualifying sessions where you can score points.
Yeah.
Every point matters now.
Yeah. So should we talk about the championship then? I've got the championship standings up, and Hadjar still leads the way. His 2 points this weekend were the difference between him being first and second in the championship.
Yeah.
So that is interesting to see. Ollie Bearman, P2. Fantastic scenes. He's a point off Isack Hadjar.
It is a mental top 3 looking at it.
And then obviously Martins, just a point behind him. He didn't score this weekend.
That's what I'm saying, how every point matters.
And then
the top 3 are split by 2 points.
Leclerc is definitely still in it. He's 5 points off top in 4th. Scored 6 this weekend.
Yeah.
Gained 4 on Hadjar. He's definitely still there. I don't know how. Because Leclerc has been outperformed by Bearman and Crawford, I'd say, this year.
Definitely.
The difference is... Because if you look at... I saw an interesting stat of how many times the Premers have outperformed each other in terms of positions.
It's Bearman, then Crawford, then Leclerc.
Yeah, it's Leclerc has 3, Crawford 4, Bearman 7, I think.
I think so. Something like that. But I know it's Bearman.
That's 14 and we've had 7 rounds, haven't we? So it does add up. The difference is Leclerc, when he outperforms the others, it's because he's just sat in P1 or something like that. But it's interesting. I mean, he's done well. You can't be 4th in such a competitive championship
And this weekend, Spa,
without being a decent driver.
Obviously,
But
Crawford's weekend was thrown away when he had a problem in quali. And that once you start in P30 in F3, he managed to get to P11
also,
for nothing.
On Leclerc, realistically, if he is going to make F1, he should have watched this championship.
Yeah.
He's 5 years older than Ollie Bearman.
Yeah, I know.
Insane. Anyway, Stanek definitely still in with a shout.
Yeah.
He's 10 points off Hadjar. He's definitely put himself in contention this weekend. 26 points off. Jack Crawford's definitely a long shot now, but I didn't think Bearman...
4 races to go.
I didn't think Bearman was going to gain.
You get
another
weekend, if he has a double podium like Bearman or Stanek did, he's right back in there.
Yeah, Ollie took 25 points this weekend. That's pretty much what he gained. I know Hadjar scored 2, but realistically, if Crawford had a similar weekend next time out, but obviously that would be quite mental circumstances.
8. He took Stanek to 26.
Yes. So we do now have 2 consecutive weekends of Formula 3, Formula 2 and Formula 1. Zandvoort and Monza up next. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's why putting it in perspective, if Martins takes pole on the Friday at Zandvoort, he leads the championship.
Well, yeah, that's the same true for any of the top 3, obviously.
That's how mental it is.
Yeah, if Leclerc was able to take
we
pole,
could see
he closed up
championship
Martins.
leader after the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, you
Like
can.
Hadjar could go into his weekend
that mental.
being the championship leader, and then by the end of Friday night, before they've even done any racing, he could be third. Or second, sorry.
Yeah.
Mental.
That is pretty mental to think about. I'm very excited for the end of this Formula 3 season. I think I'm more excited now that Ollie is, of course, in the championship fight. What? Come on, if I was a massive fan of Hunter Yaney, I'm not going to be excited. He's not even there anymore, is he? That's where he's gone.
He's not.
The fact there's been 38 drivers, by the way, in a 26, 29 team championship, mental. Absolutely. No, 30, isn't it? They go in
30 team.
threes. I don't know how I was so it's either 27 or 30, but yeah. Mental.
It is mental.
Right, that's about all for today.
Yeah.
Make sure to get involved in the comments down below. 1, who was your driver of the weekend? And 2, who do you think is going to win the championship? Is it going to be Hadjar, Bearman,
Very close.
Martins, Leclerc, Stanek, or your long shot in Jack Crawford? Equally, if I think that Crawford can win, then so too could Maloney and Smolnar.
Probably.
But that would take a massive turnaround. But I mean, it's
knows?
not unheard of. There's
exactly.
33 points in it. It's not like the 96-point lead that Max has in the F1. If you want to hear us talk about that video will be out around half an hour to an hour after this one. Depends on exporting times and stuff. Anyway, that's all for this weekend. Join us next weekend for more action. We'll do our preview. So we've actually only got 4 days until that. So look out for that. But yeah, that is all for today. I hope you've all enjoyed. Thank you all very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.